Today it's Wednesday, May 17, 2023. This is the CLS 55, the one with the transmission. The transmission has been upgraded, rebuilt, upgraded, call it as you like. It's here on, alright, and we have removed the subframe, the rear subframe. I have a video and I still have it unlisted. Don't ask me why. I forget to make it public. What they have done, the guys, they have changed the bushings here. This one. They have changed the bushings here on the diff, here, and they have changed also this one, and this one. Alright, you're gonna ask me now why they changed that. It's very simple. When you engage the D or the reverse, there is some movement. We saw that on the jack. I don't remember if I make a video at the time. I might have a video, or I send the video to the office through WhatsApp. I don't remember. In any case, we informed the owner about this situation. So what's happening? It was make some movement, the diff and the subframe, because the bushings here was completely destroyed. It was cracked completely. It was playing. I might put a public the other video if I remember it. And then there is another thing. There is no preload on the diff. There is no preload at all. Now I cannot demonstrate the same sound like it was before. 1 second, because they're welding aluminium and it makes so much sound. 1 second. Okay, so while it was engaged the shaft with the brake rotor, with everything, when you move here the pinion, it was make tack tack tack. It was make the movement. It was you hear the sound, and you hear sound also from the ring and the pinion inside. It's supposed to have some preload. It's supposed to don't spin freely like that, the pinion. Okay, so have some wear, obviously. Now what? Now the guys that change the bushings, they will gonna put everything up. The right way is to open it, to check the clearance between the ring and the pinion, to check the preload on the carrier, because it looks like that either the carrier or the pinion, it doesn't have any preload. You know, it's freely. And then put, let us say, new bearings, fresh oil, and put back in place. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. So for now we change only the bushings. Now I don't know what are we gonna do with the diff, to be honest with you. It will not, because we change the bushings, the clack that makes here, it will not gonna disappear. If there is, I cannot show you now without the shafts. It has to be the shafts on to be able to demonstrate the same sound that it's playing. Then I have mentioned 1,000,000 times, I have changed clutches, seals, for the output shaft seal, for the gear selector, the shaft that has here, fresh oil, new filter, the main gasket, the big one, everything. I haven't touched the TCU because it's beyond my skills. I'm not an electrician, and I haven't I don't have a dyno for the torque converter to check the lockup clutch or the stall speed of the torque converter. I hope that makes sense, this one. Now, by the way, sorry, one at a time. I'm busy and I want to continue, and I'm spending some time to explaining things that I have already said that before. I have already test drive the car, it's shifting fine. Omar, he already test drive the car, it's shifting excellent, there is no problem, there is no hiccups, nothing at all. This was the one, if I remember right, with the sleeves that was wrong, and they bring me the correct one, fortunately. My point, what's my point? The TCU is giving an order when to shift. The TCU, it's controlling the lockup clutch. It's not me. I mean, I'm not changing the spring rate. Let me show you something, because I have another one valve body over here that I need to open it because it has some stuck valves. Thank you. I have this valve body here that some of the solenoids on the valve body, not the electrical, they're stacking, they're not moving freely. And I have these two old one, and out of these two I'm gonna make one healthy one to don't stack, to move freely. What's my point? I'm not playing with the spring, with the tension of the spring. I've said that before. I'm not playing with anything on the valve body. Why? Because very simple. You need to supply with the pressure, with the oil pressure, and then you need to connect the TCU, and you have to demonstrate how it's driving the car on the street. That means you need to shift the gears, upshift, downshift, engage the reverse, put it in neutral, and see what kind of outputs you're getting. And then you need to have also a reference. So I don't have this equipment. I don't have the knowledge to connect the TCU and demonstrate normal driving while the valve body is not on the transmission. On an older transmissions, there is some fittings that you can put a pressure gauge and you see the output, and then you can adjust it, but not on this. This is from the TCU. That's the reason why I'm not playing with the springs. I'm not modifying anything on the valve body. It's you can make from the valve body, if you change the springs, you can make more hard the shift or more soft, or you can play with operating pressure, but I cannot do that. That's why I'm putting it back again in order. I'm cleaning it. I make sure that it's gonna move freely. The solenoids inside that does have a scoring, does have a wear, and I'm installing it back. It's mostly for the valve body. It's maintenance, and I'm changing the sleeves to have better clearance. The solenoid don't escape the pressure left and right. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It's rebuild of the clutches, seals, gaskets, but it's not tuned. I'm not tuning it. I cannot tune it to shift smoother or more hard or more aggressive, because, like I said, I need to have some data. I need to know, let us say, one healthy valve body with a pressure that's producing the transmission, how much output is giving to me, and then to make some tests to either to increase it, to be the shifting faster. But as far as I know, you can do that from the TCU. You have to do it also mechanically here, but I'm not the one who's gonna do it. This is for some other people that they're specialized on this. You need to know each port from here, what it's doing, where it's going. It's not a big deal. I have the book, I can trace it, but I cannot modify it. That's the thing. I cannot make it shifting more smooth or more hard, especially with 7.2.6, what happened before. There is no problem with that, by the way. There is no problem whatsoever. The only problem with that is when you're gauging the D or the reverse. Not all the time, because if it was on the shafts, on the diff, if you have, let us say, this white color here up and you play, you hear crack, 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 crack. You hear this sound. If you change it here or here, you have different sound. In one case it's make more, in another case make less. That means, I don't know, maybe it's not straight the ring. Maybe, I have no clue, honestly. I cannot be inside of the diff. I have to open it to measure it, to see what's going on. To measure the ring while it's turning, if it's out of round or something. I have no clue. The thing is that in some cases it doesn't make any sound. In some other cases it makes much more sound. That's why when you engage the D while it's standing, sometimes you hear a tack from back here, sometimes you don't hear it. If you leave it to spin, you're not gonna hear it. I hope that I make myself clear. Okay? Okay. So that's it. That's it. That's it. It's standing here. The bushes that change the guys, most probably they're gonna put today the subframe on, and then for the diff standing by. I might give some preload on the pinion. I might preload a little bit the pinion. It's not the smartest idea, but in this case it's on budget, if you like. I don't know if it's worth it to touch this diff, or if to get one used on and throw it in. It might be more inexpensive to get a used one, put it on, and everybody have it. Yeah, that's it. If you preload it too much, you're gonna fail. You're gonna explode. It might overheat the fluid. Then you have different things. It looks like nobody touched before. At least that's how it looks like. It looks like that they have never ever changed the seals. There is no problem as soon as it's not leaking. But again, here it's not. Yeah, sometimes doing it, sometimes not doing it. Need to be checked the diff. That's it. That's it. Small update, 10 minutes. Dang it. I have to stop because also the welder has to continue his work, and me, I have to continue my work. Thank you. Have a nice day. And regarding the clutches, when you're using OEM clutches, you cannot change the clearance. I mean, it's a headache for me if you said to me that, you know what, I want to have an extra clearance on the K3 example or on the K2, or if I want to have to increase the clearance or to decrease the clearance on the clutches. Why? Because they have the same thickness. The piston is the same, the retainer safe that has up is the same. So what I'm doing, I'm getting a measurement before I open the clutch pack. I'm writing down on my paper, and then I have the book that I'm going according to the book. I am within specs. It was within specs before. Yes, it was within specs. When I put the new clutches, I am within specs. Yes, I am within specs. It might be, let us say, 100 millimeter more tight with the new clutches, or it might be 0 sometimes. Again, I cannot change. It's not like some companies, if you go with aftermarket, they are managing to make thinner clutches so to fit more clutches in the drum. I'm not doing that. I'm using the stock size clutches, even our clutch upgrade for the 70.9, it's exactly the same thickness like the OEM clutches. That means you remove the old one, you put the new one, and it's giving to you the same clearance. It might be in some cases it's gonna be a 10 of millimeter, yeah, what was it, 100? No, a 10 of millimeter more tight. It might be, but it's not gonna change anything because I'm on specs, I'm within a range. If you have a range, let us say, from 2.2 millimeters to 2.6 millimeters as an example, and you're at 2.4, 2.5, you're okay. You're within a range. That's it. It will gonna adapt the transmission. You don't have to run a forced adaptation for a gear to shift or something. After all this time, it never happened, at least. So that's what I have to say. Thank you very much. Standing by for the CLS to see what's going on. The guys, they're dealing with that, not me. As soon as I saw that the transmission is shifting fine, there is no any fault code, and it's performing excellent, there's nothing from my side to do. Now with the diff, it's a different story. Thank you.